Hey, back. We got some parts in the mail. We got the seat in. Actually, I was talking about modifying that seat. Probably not gonna do it. My wife come out here and sat in the car. Works out great. I'm enjoying it. We have finally got brakes bled, everything on the motor, and I finally found the serpentine belt. All this stuff on the internet, 84 and a half, 77 and a half, blah blah blah. You know what? Mine ended up being 77 inches. Mine has all the accessories except for a small pump with underdrive pulleys. I have a 77-inch belt on there. Now it could probably go a little bit smaller. 5 belts. I got one that was a 76 and a quarter. I couldn't even get it on there. So I didn't look at the numbers on the belt, so I'm wondering if it was even the belt. I was wondering if it was in the right pack, you know, because I didn't look at the numbers on the belt. The pack said it was 76 and a quarter, but it wouldn't fit. Now, how I can get a 77 on there and have the length, I could actually go shorter, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna show you what I got. I'll show you the belt. All right, here's the size. For factory serpentine setup on a Fox body with no smog pump and underdrive pulleys. That's the part number. Now you probably could go shorter. This is technically 76.9 inches. If you want to know the exact number. So I don't know. But here's why I say I could go a little bit more, a little bit shorter. This part right here. Now I can get my finger in there, no problem. I mean, I got a pretty good size finger, good enough to do that. But see the range on the tensioner? Right here, there you go, focus. See, technically go a little bit more. It could get on down here. So, you know, this is what I come up with. I'm gonna try it. In the worst case scenario, I carry my old belt with me. This belt was on my blue car. They run the numbers on it. Yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but that one there is 75 and a half inches. And it's all I can do to get it on there, but it'll go on there. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the number. Well, it's here somewhere. It might be all the way on the other side. Funny, isn't it? There we go. See, you can barely read the numbers. It's 755 K6. Now it comes up to 70, I guess it's 75 and a half inches. I don't know. Who knows? All right, here, I'm gonna show you my shifter. There's the shifter. I like it. Now, where it's sitting right now is where my wife needs it to be to drive. Now, I had to go back way farther than that. And it's a little tall. But if I lay my arm on the armrest, if I get comfortable, lay back in the seat with my arm on the armrest, dude, that is a perfect height. It looks taller than it is. I may end up taking an inch or two out of it, but I hate to cut a $100 shifter, but you know, it is what it is. I do like it because it lays back and it goes to this and it tweaks to the side. See how it tweaks to the side? I do like that. It's very comfortable. So, I don't know. We'll see. Kind of that old school jive. That's what I'm going for. So, I love to go 5 lug and black steelies with little hubcaps like everybody else is doing. But who knows? Welcome back. We have got the Zephyr off the jack stands. We're about ready to go for a maiden voyage. We have moved the Mustang. We've got them both swapped out. You'll see the Zephyr was sitting there Now she's sitting there. Now, yeah, it looks like we've moved, but all we did was back it out. I haven't took it for a ride yet because it ain't got no gas in it. So we gotta get some gas. But letting it run with what little bit of gas is in it, because like I said, it ain't got enough to make it to the store. And it was dark last night and I didn't want to drive it. So we noticed the fuel pump's leaking. I mean, the accelerator pump, I'm sorry. Accelerator pump's leaking. We had a leak on the water hose when we was topping off the antifreeze. And once it got pressurized, it started seeping on a heater hose. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, the tires are a little low. I just got the compressor on. We're gonna pump them up, get them back together. So I'm gonna pull the carburetor off today and try to address that carburetor and maybe put a timing light on it. I haven't put a timing light on it. And it's got a little bit of a flutter. It could be in the timing and it could be in the carburetor. I'm hoping it's in the timing. We'll find out. Just got to do some work. Guess what? I said we're going for a joyride. A maiden voyage.
Oh, joyride out.
Yeah, maiden voyage. We're going to drive this pig. She's loud, though. So, all right, let's see what happens. Huh? All right. You gonna ride, Rick?
I'll ride, bro.
Hey, we just got back from the voyage. I realized the video had cut off, but we had an issue. We throttled it down, and for some reason the throttle would go high. I mean, it wouldn't go wide open, it would just go high. Cut the car off, crank it back up, that'll be fine. So we come back, started assessing the damages, and I got, like I said, I got this carburetor guy give it to me, and so we're fighting something. So let me show you what we got. All right, there we go. We got it off. Nitrous plate. We got, don't have to worry about that. We're not putting nitrous on, we're just using it as a spacer. We needed a spacer. So let me show you here what we got. All right, this is the old plate. Well, we've had an issue with the linkage being sloppy. So I beat that down, but then when I started messing around with it, I noticed how much slop was in the shaft. This part here. So what that means was in it, and if you look, see how moist it is. We think it was sucking air. And then, you know, look back here. So I think it was sucking air. So here is our donor carburetor, which is another parts carburetor I had laying on the shelf. It's just kind of, you can see it's about been stripped of everything. Ain't nothing left of it. But and here's another one we've robbed parts off of. But 750. My understanding is which it shows to be the same. 750 all the way down to 600 has the same base plate. All your transition holes and everything are the same. So we have this one on, and while we was doing that, this choke deal was just broke apart. So we think that it might have been sucking air there, bolts to the side of the carburetor, and it pulls air through here. I'll show you, right? See there, hole there. So it may have been sucking air from right there. It's another issue. It runs good. It's got some, I don't know. And it could be running out of fuel. I do have a stock pump on it and 5/16 line. So we're gonna get this back together, get it on, see what happens. All right, we're gonna try this again. The last video didn't work out. As soon as I handed it over to Rick, it cut off. So we're gonna try it again. And this time we're driving it, and we did have an issue, which I'm glad it didn't video because the throttle done some crazy stuff. So here we go. Rick's gonna drive. Rick's gonna hold the phone. All right, let's see if it's the carburetor's junk on this thing. I'm gonna have to get one. I done everything I can to it. Cold, nigga. All right, I give up on that carburetor. So I broke down yesterday and bought another carburetor. I didn't video nothing because I'm getting frustrated with this thing. It runs great until you get into the secondaries. Even with the brand new carburetor, it runs better with the brand new carburetor. And I also bought a new coil just because I used the coil from the 6-cylinder. And I don't know. I don't know. I haven't pulled the plugs out. And I did use the plugs that was originally in the motor. When I pulled it out of the convertible, they didn't look bad. I mean, unless they're just breaking down. I don't know. I'm baffled. I had, it's new ignition box. The stuff I bought off it. What do they call it? eBay. Bought it off of eBay, the distributor and the ignition box. I mean, it could be something wrong with them. It may not have the time. I've done everything, and I'm still working on it, and I'm still aggravated. I mean, if you don't get into secondaries, it runs like a champ. So the next thing is, until I figure out this problem, I got to get exhaust on it. So that's going to be my next goal. I'm going to show you the new carburetor. I bought a Brawler 650. I bought it from a gentleman that sells parts over here on one of our roads. He had two of them. He had a 600 vacuum secondary and then a 650 double pumper. I had a 600 vacuum secondary on it. It just wouldn't run right. I mean, it run decent until you couldn't get into the throttle real quick. The throttle response. I jumped new pumps, adjusted the pump, replaced the diaphragm on the vacuum secondary. I checked for vacuum leaks, changed the base plate because the base plate was wore out. The shaft was wore out. And somebody wallered one of the holes out. I guess they had a bent stud or something. I don't know. So changed all that. I'll show you the new carburetor. I am tickled with the new carburetor. It does really, really, it runs, I mean, it runs good. You get in the gas, I can pull it in second gear and creep up my driveway. The other carburetor, you could not have done that. So it was money well spent. It's just money I didn't want to spend. Could have been for exhaust or other things. So I'll show you what I got. All right, here's my other carburetor. Here's the new one. Brawler 650. Oh, dang it, I forgot the part number. But the other carburetor needed a new choke, and that was like $60. So by the time I'd have bought everything for the older carburetor that didn't run great at all, and I adjusted on it, replaced and adjusted on it. I've had it off 4 or 5 times, still couldn't get it right. So by the time I spent all the extra money fixing stuff on the older carburetor, this was my better choice. That, and it does look nicer. And that's my first carburetor. All the years of messing with hot rods, that's the very first carburetor I've ever bought brand new. Yeah, that's what I was telling Tony. So I really like it, though. It seems to work good. It was fairly close on adjustments. I think Tony, while I was doing putting a fuel filter on it, the gentleman I bought it from asked me if I would put a fuel filter on it, and I agreed to him. It does need a fuel filter, so I put a fuel filter right here. He said put it before the carburetor, but I figured I'd go before the pump. Anyway, and it's down there out of the way. So while I was doing that, Tony went through the adjustment screws just to make sure, see where they were at, and he said they weren't nowhere near. So round in the quarters where he put them at, and it seems to work great. Idle's good, fires right up. As soon as you pat the gas one time, hit the switch, it fires up cold. After it's running warm up to temperature, you hit the switch, it fires up on its own. I really like it. So that was money well spent. Money I didn't want to spend because I was wanting to use the money that was going on exhaust, because I am sick and tired of riding in it with no exhaust. This ain't a race car. And my neighbors probably don't like it neither. So, I mean, look at it. Does it look like it needs open exhaust? It's Grandma's grocery go-getter. So, All right, and I still got to buy some heater hoses. I got a leak. I tried to use the ones off the old motor. And you can look at them, they kind of swole up. They don't look too great. It does have, this hose does have the reducer in it to keep the, you know, that you can put in the Fox bodies, keep blowing out the heater cores. This hose here is the one that's leaking. I done shortened it a little bit because it was fat on the end. And it's still leaking. So there's my weekend adventure. Watched New Year's ball drop and I went to bed. I hope everybody had a good New Year's Eve and today. Got my beans, greens, cornbread, all that good stuff the wife's in there taking care of. So, hope everybody had a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.